Hey, how many times have projects come up where an end user asks for a camera that provides a nice tight shot of a subject at a given distance? And has somebody asked you for a camera that they can show a shot of a group of people in an area that covers the entire group? And have you ever been asked to provide a camera system that provides multiple views when you know full well that there won't be any trained camera operators available?
Well, these are just a few of the typical scenarios that we find in Pro AV. And in most cases, our answers are nothing more than educated guesses. That's because most of us aren't professional photographers, and we really don't fully understand the criteria that goes into properly answering these questions. So today, we're going to take a look at the easy ways that you can properly specify the correct camera solution for your project's application. I'm Clay Stalka.
And I'm Neil Weber. So Clay, what determines whether a camera will provide the field of view that the end user is looking for?
Well, Neil, the first thing we have to understand is what goes into determining how any camera defines its field of view. Everything related to digital camera imaging today is based on the benchmark of a full-frame 35mm image. Now, for those of you who've used a 35mm SLR film camera, that image is what others are compared to. So when digital imaging sensors replaced the 35mm film roll, we needed to have a standard from which we could define lenses and their associated performance.
So tell me what that exactly means to each of us.
Well, first, we have to understand that only very few top-of-the-line professional DSLR cameras have a full-frame digital imaging sensor. Now that's to say, a sensor chip that's the same size as a frame of 35mm film. They're very expensive and are typically only for the elite professional photographers because of their cost. So with that said, the majority of DSLR cameras and all digital video cameras have an image sensor that's smaller than a frame of 35mm film.
So what happens to the image when you use a smaller image sensor?
Well, as you can see in this diagram, with a smaller sensor, only a portion of the image is projected by the lens onto the sensor. Now, the smaller the sensor, the smaller portion of the image that's captured. This is called the crop factor. Now, to understand how this works, you can take a 35mm film camera and change the lens to one with a focal length to match that same cropped field of view. The difference in focal length of the two lenses becomes your crop factor.
Now, we all know that we're not going to carry a 35mm film camera and a bunch of different lenses around on a site visit. So, how can we really determine what the crop factor really is?
Well, there are charts that show you the crop factor of all the standard-sized image sensors. You just need to know the sensor size of the camera. Now, as an example, if you need an image that has the same field of view as a 50mm lens on a 35mm film camera, and the sensor size of your digital video camera is ½ like most PTZ cameras use, you would have to divide 50mm by the crop factor of 5.41, and that comes out to 9mm on the small sensor camera.
So how do we come up with the full field of view once we know the crop factor and the lens size?
Well, the formula for calculating the angle of view is 2 arctan times the sensor width divided by 2 times the focal length. Now, there are calculators online to do this for you. Now, once you know the angle of view, which in this example is about 40 degrees, you can visualize the field of view from the camera. Now, I carry a cheap protractor with me to site visits just so I can visualize the different fields of view.
That doesn't surprise any of us. Working backwards, how can we know what the field of view needed when we're really looking at filling a frame at a given distance?
Well, that's really pretty easy, Neil, and that is the question. So, this is commonly called the linear field of view. In other words, how far away you need the camera to be to fill the frame at a selected field of view. So the formula for calculating linear field of view is 2 times tangent of the angle of view divided by 2 times the distance to the subject. So if your distance is measured in feet, your answer will be in feet.
Okay.
If your distance is measured in meters, your answer will be in meters.
Gotcha.
So in our example, we work 2 times tangent of 20 times 50 feet, and that comes up with about 36 feet as the distance we need to get our subject to fill the frame with a 40-degree field of view.
Okay, so now we understand how to come up with what we need to determine camera lenses and placement. I know most of the camera manufacturers publish their field of view angles anyway, so that makes it even easier. But what I don't understand is the 10x, 20x, and 30x specification.
And neither do I. Well, actually, that's a magnification specification, Neil, like telescopes or microscopes use. Now, a lot like noise specs in audio amplifiers or microphones, it's basically one part fact and the second part smoke and mirrors. So it's true that the glass may have a magnification factor of 10 times, as they state. But what does that mean with regard to content seen within the frame? Now, I don't know how we can answer that intelligently because we don't know the crop factor or the angle of view. All that really tells you is that the given camera can blow up the picture by 10 times the actual size. And in the case of PTZ cameras, that's at its minimum zoom setting. Maximum zoom setting, I should say.
But if that's all you know, we can assume that a 10x camera has a wider field of view than a 20x camera.
No, Neil, absolutely not. It just means that the 20x camera has twice the magnification of the 10x camera. Now, insofar as focal length is concerned, as you compare a 10x to a 20x, you're changing the effective focal length. So in the case of a PTZ camera, as the focal length is increased, the image appears to get larger, like a telescope, and therefore less of the image will fill the entire frame, and the angle of view becomes smaller. So if we have a 20x camera with a 72-degree angle of view, and say a 10x camera with a 55-degree angle of view, the 10x camera will still have a narrower field of view than the 20x camera. So just by saying that 10x compared to 20x, well, that doesn't tell you nearly all of the story.
I gotcha. Speaking of not knowing the entire story, sometimes it's just not practical to deploy a camera that can cover the entire group along with speakers and microphones that provide the ideal conferencing solution. This can be especially true in huddle spaces, small meeting rooms, and multi-use spaces. Enter the new Yamaha CS700 by Revolabs.
The CS700 is an all-in-one conferencing solution that wall mounts right under a display, soundbar style. It has a wide-angle camera that can capture an entire huddle space or small conference room without any need for panning or zooming. Plus, it features a beam-forming microphone to clearly pick up every voice in the meeting. And it has a great-sounding 4-element speaker bar as well. This assures clear and natural-sounding conversations between participants with low fatigue and high speech intelligibility. Now, the CS700 camera has a 120-degree field of view. It has USB connectivity to the computer. It offers a SIP interface to the corporate call manager. And it even allows Bluetooth voice connectivity to mobile devices like smartphones.
If you were at InfoComm 17 in Orlando last month, you might have experienced the buzz amongst the crowd at the Yamaha Revolabs booth. They had a small conference room set up so people could experience the quality and clarity of video calls, both on USB and web calls, and on SIP calls. And people just love the soundbar form factor. The CS700 was really one of the biggest hits of this year's InfoComm.
Yeah, and the revolutionary new product that was introduced at the show, I think, was the Panik Cast 2 180-degree camera from Altea Systems. It's the world's first panoramic 4K plug-and-play USB camera. Because it's using an incredible 7.4 megapixel 5120 by 1440 image space by means of 3 discrete camera elements, the Panik Cast 2 camera provides a 180-degree wide by 54-degree high field of view.
It is so cool. And this camera is not just another wide-angle solution. Because of the extremely high resolution of the image, it can employ intelligent digital zoom. Now, thanks to the partnership with Intel, the Panik Cast 2 has onboard processing that makes it possible for the camera to learn where the active participants are located and zoom in on where they are when they're talking. There's no need to pan or zoom or end up with a shot that shows empty chairs. The Panik Cast 2 automatically includes only the people in the room, zooming in and out as people take part in the conversation. This makes for an incredibly intimate and personal meeting experience. It's awesome.
It is.
The Panik Cast 2 has a 180-degree field of view and is self-powered with USB 3.0 and uses the included power supply for with USB 2.0.
Plus, the onboard Intel processing allows the camera to capture more than one stream at a time. This allows the camera to offload the secondary video to the connected PC to be used in the applications that are maybe adjunct to the main streaming video. Now, the first of these applications won the #1 slot as Rave's Best of Show at Infocom 17. Now, this isn't just another on-screen annotation software. What it is an application that captures a plain old whiteboard that can be located anywhere within the Panik Cast's 180-degree field of view. It grabs an independent video stream of only that whiteboard with its secondary stream, and it displays it in a video call adjacent to the active participant window. So this allows traditional presentations to be included as a part of a web conference call.
So cool. And if that's not enough for you, they also offer it in a 4K 3D virtual reality kit, consisting of two Panik Cast 2 cameras on a dual camera mount that uses in-device stitching technology to create the most natural-looking, breathtaking perspective in 4K video quality that I've ever seen. It's a very immersive 3D experience. And this can be synthesized with content in mixed reality experiences or used in virtual reality or augmented reality applications like training simulation and classroom situations, which is great when it's used with the head-mounted display glasses. The best part of this is that it's all done in real time with no need for post-production work to make it a 3D VR happen.
And because the Panik Cast isn't using any wide-angle or fisheye kind of optics to capture the full panorama, there's not any image distortion at all in the full 180-degree field of view. Oh, and it has built-in microphones as well for close proximity applications like in huddle spaces. And its low-light performance, Neil, is something I have never seen the likes of anywhere. Well, since Panik Cast has its own onboard Intel processing, there are so many more things that this camera can do. So their roadmap includes full facial recognition that could, as an example, prevent unauthorized use by specifying only particular individuals. So you can only imagine where this camera could go as we move forward into the future.
That's for sure. Another one of the camera products that caused a lot of buzz at the show is the Video 360 Team Cam. It didn't create a stir because of the new technology, but rather because of its value proposition. You see, the Team Cam is a light version of their popular Video 360 Beacon USB PTZ camera without serial control of pan, tilt, and zoom. This makes it perfect for small spaces and places where remote pan, tilt, and zoom will never be used. The Team Cam has a field of view of 67 degrees and has a USB 2.0 output.
And what makes this so special, Neil, is the value. Everybody already knows the quality of the Video 360 cameras. But how the Team Cam comes in at just $389 list is beyond me.
It's crazy.
Now we can deliver a professional-grade camera for the cost of consumer-grade solutions like the Logitech.
Yeah.
So this is revolutionary in the Pro AV channel, and I think it's a big deal.
It really is. Now, one of the most frequent camera requests we get around here is for a quality and affordable auto tracking camera. Look no further because the huddlecam Simple Track is here. The Simple Track is an extremely easy camera to set up and configure. There's no tedious process of teaching the camera who to follow. The tracking works for subjects up to 50 feet away, and its advanced tracking options can make this solution nearly foolproof.
And the Simple Track can connect via USB 3.0 or 3G SDI, and it can be controlled and managed remotely right over the network. It has 64 gigabytes of internal memory, so its facial recognition is wide-ranging and adaptable in real time. Now, Simple Track outputs 1080p 60 frame a second video and has 255 onboard camera presets. It has a 60-degree field of view, and it has an extremely wide range of zoom magnification with its 20x optics. There we go again with that.
Right.
This means that fully zoomed in, it has a tight 3-degree field of view for long-range tight shots. And Simple Track can be ceiling mounted, wall mounted, or can be ordered with its own tripod.
And so many people have asked us about extending USB reliably. Icron makes a truly transparent USB system called Extreme USB. This means that whatever data goes in comes out the exact same way. There's no conversion that leads to incompatibility and interoperability. Icron has USB 1.1, USB 2.0, and USB 3.0 extension solutions in single through 4-port sizes. You can extend USB over Cat-X cable, fiber, and even over the existing LAN. So whenever you need USB extension solutions that just work, no matter the application, you should be looking at Icron.
And if you need USB 2.0 extension but have no accessible cable pathways, we now have the new USB to Air from huddlecam. Now, the USB to Air has a range of up to 25 feet for 1080p 30 frame per second video, and up to 4 USB Air devices can be used together simultaneously in the same space.
Wow.
So yeah, it is. And it'll work with any USB 2.0 camera, but it'll also work with other USB 2.0 devices, like maybe touch-enabled displays as well. So we now have plenty of these in stock, so your wish has come true.
And we've left the big mystery for last, Clay. We're introducing the new meetingowl from Owl Labs. Meetingowl is a huddle space and small conference room solution that gives you a 360-degree field of view, 360-degree microphone pickup, and 360-degree speaker coverage in an all-inclusive web conferencing solution.
You just set it in the middle of the table and plug it into power and USB to a computer and make your video call. meetingowl recognizes active meeting participants and automatically places them on screen no matter what their location in the room. Now, room audio is clear and intelligible for small room applications, and the image quality is beyond excellent. It's just amazing how accurate the meetingowl tracks meeting participants, so that even though remote attendees aren't in the room together with them, they feel like they're there.
Absolutely. meetingowl blows away the 360-degree immersive camera competition at a fraction of the price. It'll be available in just about a month or so from Starent. So, get prepared. The solution is going to change the way huddle spaces meet. We have a special coffee break on September 8th with a whole lot more information and all the pertinent details, so you don't want to miss that one.
So, Neil, your favorite time.
Yeah.
Let's give away a $50 gift card for one of our lucky friends who joined us here today.
Yeah. Congratulations for joining us again at an AV Meetup Coffee Break.
And please tell all your friends and coworkers to join us in 2 weeks at this same time, because we'd love you to be our next $50 gift card winner.
Hey, thanks for giving us your 20 minutes today to learn more about choosing the right camera. Please remember to go to our Synergy Center website to get all kinds of resource materials to help you with whatever kind of projects you might be working on. And check back regularly, because we're constantly adding to our library of videos, white papers, and timely articles on all things AV.
And please join us again on Friday, August the 11th for our next AV Meetup Coffee Break, when Neil and I will host Eileen Vergeer from Bosch to help you select the right amplifier for your amazing loudspeakers. And also remember, you can go to our website to watch all of our AV Meetup sessions on demand.
For more information, to set up a demo, or to dive deeper into any of our products with a personalized online workshop, please contact your Starent Business Development Manager directly, or you can always email us here at myteam@starent.biz. Hey, our time is up. We do promise to address your questions and interests directly, and it might even be Clay here who calls or emails you with your answer. We'll see you again on Friday, August 11th for the next AV Meetup Coffee Break. Have a great weekend, everybody.
So long, everybody.